couple of very competitive players.
Marshall showed his extreme competitiveness in that 10th frame. He may really be feeling good and sitting good right now. He's got a ball working on both lanes. He's got to be confident, and Mazza didn't appear to have that good a shot in practice.
You mentioned the ball that Marshall drilled up prior to the telecast. That's the one he's using on the left-hand lane where he trips out.
Oh, my God.
And gets the 10. It's a ball that he's using negative weight in, Mike.
Well, negative weight makes the ball go into a roll quicker. What Marshall's been finding is as the ball carries the oil down the lane and get what we call carry down, is his ball's been going too far, not breaking quick enough. Negative makes it go into a roll a little bit sooner, puts it in the pocket.
John Mazza comes out, and you mentioned he hasn't had the greatest of reactions with any of his equipment or any of his angles in the practice session, yet he's able to gut it out and throw a strike in the first frame.
Well, Mazza's been working tremendously hard on his mental attitude. He's seen a sports psychologist. He's trying to be positive. He's trying to stay focused. He's trying to learn how to control his emotions and his inner self. He's been doing a very good job of it.
And has spent innumerable occasions in Akron, Ohio, working with Fred Borden. Really has developed over the last couple of years into one of the premier left-handers on the national tour. This one high and through the nose, gets a break though.
Leaves only the 2-pin. John wastes very little time.
Made back-to-back shows earlier this year down in Florida.
Won his first title down there in Winter Haven. Florida Open.
He was so much fun to watch at the Firestone this year. It was always one of his dreams to get a chance to participate in that event, and he thoroughly enjoyed himself. He said, I don't care where I finish, I'm going to try and win, but this is one of the rewards of bowling on the national tour.
Well, he's earned it. He's been out here 9 years, so he's paid his dues. A little soft on the speed. Crosses over and leaves the 10.
Also looked like he turned that awfully early, too, Mike.
Did you see his hand? It's exactly what he showed with his hand. He went down with his thumb. That means when a bowler does that, he knows that he's turned it too early. He hasn't stayed behind it long enough. And a lot of times when you do turn it, the speed goes down.
Is that telling you subconsciously that you don't think you can get the ball back?
Does he convert the spare? Yeah, I think it does, Danny. I mean, it indicates a slight lack of confidence. Try and get a picture of that. There he is right behind the ball now. Head steady. Starts down with the thumb now. He's all the way around to the side of the ball here at this point. And the thumb really went down. Marshall tries to stay behind that ball much longer. You know, we're just not machines, though. These pros are not machines. They can't throw the ball perfectly every time. Do that perfect, though.
Stayed with that shot so much longer and got the beautiful reaction. So Marshall comes back with a strike in the third. And we've got an even Steven match here in the early stages.
Again, watch that steady hand. Now watch the hand. Stays behind it, behind it, behind it, behind it. Now the thumb is out. Right about there. And he snaps with those fingers there.
And you hear the thump of the thumb hole for John Mazza, who just kind of shrugs his shoulders and says, I'll take the strike. But man, I'd like to figure out how to hit the pocket.
Well, you know, last week he was behind in the championship match and got 2 crossover strikes, both for doubles. And suddenly his opponent got a hole or a split, and he wound up winning the tournament easily. But he wasn't lined up for a while last week, so he can maybe find it here.
It's interesting. He said, my goal is not necessarily to win. It's to go out and make good shots one after another. Through the nose again on the left-hand lane instead of just the 2-pin this time. He's got an assortment.
He's got company with it this time, yeah. Switches to a hard polyester ball, plastic ball to shoot the spare. The reason he's doing this is he doesn't want it to hook. Well, not exactly the way he played it, but he makes the spare. John is shaky at best right now. He just lost that ball off his hand completely.
Interesting thing too, Mike. I don't know if you noticed, but he just put his ring finger in there. He could not put the middle finger in there.
Well, that's why he's been shooting those spares, I guess, lately. And
Holman to try and double up. And that may be his best shot at this point. Now he's using the ball at negative weight on both lanes.
on both.
So his assessment, well, this will be interesting to see if, as the oil carries down, if his shot remains a little more consistent.
Well, negative weight always, I used it a lot in my career. Yeah, because it gave me an even arc to the pocket. Went into a roll quicker, and I didn't have those violent reactions. I didn't have a tremendous skid and then hook. It would give me a more even arc, and I like that a lot better.
Confidence that time, swinging a couple of boards, and then he gives it the Chichi Rodriguez move to the left.
Did you give it the sword play, too?
He might here if he throws a couple more.
Watch that. Tilts almost over. Watch the head pin. Scrambles him up, and Marshall takes off running to the left.
Holman now with a 20-pin lead. Mazza with a little more swing, and a beautiful shot on lane 46.
And he's chosen to finish on 47, where he hasn't hit the 1-2 yet.
And this is like, turnstile. Mazza threw a new ball on that lane. So players right now are utilizing the entire arsenal.
Well, they're pulling out the wedge and the driver. That's right. 5-iron and everything.
Hitting those punch shots, fades, hooks. Hey, you have to do what you have to do to throw strikes. And you can't wait around in this championship match.
Well, it takes very little time. Swings this one more.
Oh, boy,
got closer, but still high.
Now the question is, will he have enough time? Marshall with 3 in a row. If he would string a couple of more, and they would really put the heat on John Mazza. But I think that's why John made the move. He figured, hey, if I don't make it now, I won't be around.
Which he very well may be right.
All right, no problem with the spare for John Mazza. His problem is Marshall Holman and the strikes he's been throwing. We'll be back with more right after this.
You don't have to worry when rain keeps pouring down, 'cause your home can take it, whatever comes.
Than any other filter. Fran, you could pay a little now or a lot later.
Welcome back to Active West, Town Square Lanes and Riverside. Marshall,
Come to end
pretty
again
good shot.
because
Left
Holman
four
spared.
in the 6th frame.
But the ball hooked early, kind of set up at the pocket. That negative weight made the ball almost roll out, and he only left the 4-pin rather than having company with it. Good speed there. And snaps high.
5-3-6.
And Marshall knows that if he makes the quality shot, he's going to put it in the 1-3, and if he doesn't, he hopes it's not one on each side. As it is only the 3-6 here, he should be able to handle that. If he does, he'll be up by 17 pins with 3.5 frames to go.
Against John Mazza, a 2-time winner. He's trying to join Pete Weber, and David Ozio is the only other 3-time winners on the national tour this year.
Marshall wasn't happy with that shot either. He made, you always feel fortunate that he made 2 really not good shots and come up with a mark in the frame. That's basically what he did there.
Mazza once again striking on the right-hand lane, and Mike had a chance to talk with John earlier and ask him about what it would mean to win a couple of titles back-to-back out here on the national tour.
Well, Mike, I think that'd be an incredible thing for me to happen. But for that to happen today, I'm going to have to put that out of my mind while I'm bowling and just go about my business and stay loose, stay focused, and just bowl well.
Needs to bowl well on this shot right now. Made the adjustment, leaves the 3 and the 9. He just cannot figure out lane 45.
Well, he has been searching and searching on that lane. He has struck 3 consecutive times on lane 46, but couldn't double any of those up.
You got the old Dutchman going here, then. You remember what they gave you that for that? You know?
Patch.
Yeah, right. Or 5 free games of bowling from the bowling center.
And an early exit. Although, but at the same time, he's doing what basically Marshall did in game number 1. He's staying just close enough that maybe if something happens in the 8th, 9th, or 10th, he can win the match.
He's hanging in there by these fingernails right now, but hanging in there.
Brian Goebel next in line. Mark Williams, our top seed this week. $24,000 on top.
Pretty shot there, wasn't it?
Whenever he stays behind it and makes his kind of a shot, he's got a terrific reaction. But if he does something other than that, it's not what he wants. But you're right. He has gotten away with a few already here in this game.
Right now, Marshall is going at a 217 pace. If he strikes here, puts him in the 220. The best John Mazza can get if he strikes out is 220 even. Foundation. David Room. Ooh, got that right hit. Down to one knee for Holman, who in 2 consecutive games has been able to come up with the shot to put the stranglehold on his opponent. He's got John Mazza almost put away. John has to strike here. Rumbles around, kicks out the pin. Mazza is still alive, and let's see if he can solve the puzzle at lane 45. Well, he has to solve it right now, Dan. He has a potential score of 220 if he gets 3 strikes in the 10th frame, which would make Holman mark in the 10th frame.
Well, he's already changed balls. He's changed lines. He still has not thrown a ball in the pocket on this lane. And he's trying everything.
Very little time. Give it room. It's possible.
That's what he's telling himself right now. Meanwhile, Marshall's thinking, okay, 2 more, that gives him 220. Now let's see, what do I need to win? But boy, you have to really be impressed with Mazza's grittiness to go out there and do what he has to do to hang tough.
Well, and probably still, he's maintaining that positive self-talk, man. He's not letting the negative come in, and he's saying, I'm still alive, still got a chance, just get 1 strike right here. To hurry. Comes up, beautiful.
Mazza got the
Mazza,
double.
who did anything but quit in this match.
He's going to bowl a clean game. He strikes here. He wind up with, what's he got? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 strikes. Didn't wind up with 220.
But only 2 strikes on lane 45. That's the thing that's tough about bowling, and you know that as well as anyone, Michael. You always get one lane, and it's always trying to figure out the other one.
I always used to say I was the best one-alley bowler on tour.
Well, a wonderful finish for John Mazza.
Holman's going to have to mark it.
Now the question is it enough to advance into the semifinal?
Whether that 7 was just enough to make Marshall mark. He needs some kind of spare strike in the 10th frame. Side.
Oh.
Not easy. 3-6-10. There's the early turn again and the soft speed to go with it.
So Marshall Holman, one of the better spare shooters on the national tour for many years, will have to convert the 3-6-10 to move on.
This is more mental than anything else, man. It's just making yourself grit it out and saying, I can make this. I know what to do. Just do it.
Is all new CBS Thursday at 10/9 Central and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Did it. Sigh of relief from the Medford Meteor, who says, Mr. Choke, just call me Mr. Artichoke. One thing about Marshall, you never have to look very long to find out how he feels about a particular situation or one of his shots.
And he needs 4 pins on this to win.
He can handle that.
Another awesome match.
He has now won 2 matches in a row, and he and John
Between
Mazza
Holman
are
and
very
Mazza.
good friends. And I'll tell you what, Mazza with a